Happy Cashflow Friday, people, and and even for those who are still doing HYROX this weekend. So I want to talk to you today, just really highlighting like some of the things, even training for something like HYROX, what it does, and how I believe embracing the mindset of what someone who is doing HYROX. I think I had I kind of talked about this in the post, and I think how you need to think about this when it comes to your legacy and your wealth, because your health is your wealth, right? So, number one, I talked about running your race. So, one thing we have to realize, like I had talked to somebody today about the race. They were like, I'm gonna be, um, I have to. I don't like losing, and I don't either. So, any and everything that happens to us, what do? We are looking for excuses. And I seen a post that really remind me of this. It says, if we train our brain to quit, we can also train our brain to win and to keep going. And the truth of what happens with anyone um, when it comes to having some camera issues there. The truth of the matter, when it comes to anybody, if they decide that they want to truly like build wealth, it's gonna take you mentally challenging yourself, and like doing a race like HYROX makes me realize that it's only certain people who are really willing to actually go through things and stick with it. And that's when you gotta ask yourself the question, like, am I somebody that like to start things and not finish it? Or am I somebody who's gonna like I'm gonna do the necessary work that needs to be done? And so that's why I say run your own race, because just going back to the story of the one girl say I don't like losing, like the reality is we need to face harder truths about ourselves. And man, when I did that race, I realized, man, there was some things I needed to do better. I needed to train for better, or I needed to like push myself harder at. And even though I was able to complete the race, even though I'm proud of the accomplishment, I want to become better. And running your own race, especially when you think about Cashflow Friday, when you think about your legacy, it's like you're on your own race. You're where you're at financially because what? Because of what you did or what you did not do. And the hard truth that a lot of people are gonna realize, whether you realize it now or whether you realize it 18, 19, 20 months from now, is you not being honest with yourself and what you need to do better today is only gonna be you holding yourself back from how the world is changing. So, in your money position about your legacy, like it's a constant moving target. And so, anyways, it reminds me of, I think the second point I made is, you know, endurance beat emotions. Like when you learn to build up, I think like your mindset around your emotions, and like learning to like outpace your emotion. Like emotions is good, but emotions is not good when you are someone who allow your emotions to make a lot of decisions for you. Because whether you believe it or not, maybe you've made a decision with money that allows you to seem like you are emotional spender. You're not an emotional spender. When something goes wrong or something don't go bad, you choose to go spend something around money, and you choose to make a decision around money that's not in full, that's only good for you in that moment. And this is why most people, when they are looking at building wealth or something around real estate or doing something money related, they get very emotional because they have not been trained around their emotions. So if you learn how to train your mind and push your mind and discipline your mind, because as I go through it right now, one of the biggest things I realize is like, man, like building a business and pouring into people is very rewarding, but it's completely different than how I learned how you should run and operate a business. You know, John Maxwell put it this way: is, you know, your leadership capacity, when you pour more into people, actually your capacity grows. And I think Tiffany Howe of one company talks about how when you pour into people and and to see that they can be able to get more out of what they want out of life, you get in return. As Zig Ziglar say, you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And so it starts with your emotions, and then you controlling yourself, like discipline yourself. It actually like puts you in it puts you in a different space, because you realize, man, all those lies and all the fears. Oh, my bad. All the lies and all the fears that we had about ourselves, it's all up here. Like before we started the race, it was so interesting because I seen people who was in shape, like looked better than me, you know, and the truth of the matter is, like, they had to still wrestle with this mental block. Now, whether they did good or whether they did what they want, I don't know. Like, I'm not in their head, and I'm not, like I said at first, I'm not trying to run a race. I'm running my race. So I can only tell you guys how you get better at this, and especially when it comes to like investing, when it comes to real estate. Like, this game is non-emotional. Like, it's black and white. You use money as a tool to help you get to somewhere, but you have to continue to change and say, all right, like, what does this look like if I choose to commit to investing, if I commit to like building assets for my family, building assets, like even if it's stocked, how do I learn that game so I stick with it? And here's the thing: if you learn to stick with something and you follow it through, then guess what? The reward itself is you did it. Like, and then you start moving that reward up. And that's why fitness and like, that's why I think sports and real estate go hand in hand. Because if you want to acquire more real estate, then like make sure you follow in the game. And the first game for most people is understanding, how do I change my mind around how I look at real estate, how I look at assets. Even if I have a business, how do I grow my business to get me in a better position so that I can have more freedom, right? And what am I doing with that freedom? I'm not just like splurging off in life. Like, no, I'm pouring into my family. I'm giving back. I am like doing things that's going to allow my legacy to continue to grow while I'm long gone. And sometimes that's even just pouring back into other people, as long as the family is taken care of. So that is, and the last thing I would say is like, now, if you're an athlete, like I'm gonna say this for you. If you're somebody who admire athletes, I want you to share it with somebody. As an athlete, you have been part of structures of business and systems more than what you can imagine. And the truth of the matter is, you don't understand how to build assets because all you know how to is earn money. Most athletes don't, they just work and they just strive instead of like, how do I make income? How do I continue to make that income? Then how do I multiply that into more? And most people, you know, they train, most people train their body harder than they train their money. And so I'm in this race, and I always ask you guys, hey, join me in Cashflow Friday, where we go deeper on assets. You know, we have courses in there, and we have ways to just pour into you. And if it's not for you, that's fine. But I realize like most people rather walk with people on a journey than do it alone. And to be honest with you, like even though I did HYROX by myself, like I'm gonna do it. I'm looking forward to doing it with some friends and family members next time, training and preparing, because I believe at the end of the day, you're gonna get much further in life where you can walk with other people, and who's just like you. And sometimes just like you, just want more out of life, but sometimes they need pushing, they need accountability. I don't care who you are on this earth. Everyone needs somebody. And whether you're an athlete, I speak to you because you've been through it before. And one of the most passionate things that people say is like, man, I heard one thing. I heard one of the basketball players. He cried. He was like, "What's one thing you're gonna miss about sports?" And he started breaking down crying. And he was like, "The meals," because like some of the best things that happen in our lives is the moments we can share with people. I'm gonna say that again because that made me feel a certain way. Sometimes the most precious moments we can spend with people is the moments we shared. And also, when you know you're working hard to get somewhere and then you can celebrate that with them, you like, this is what I've been working for. And when I think of HYROX, like I was on the high just of completing it. And I'm like, I want to do more because I pushed myself to an uncomfortable level and I seen what I can do and I want to do it better next time. And I want to bring along people along with me. But so yeah, man, I encourage you guys, like even if it's find someone who's gonna push you and challenge you. I'm here. That's why I exist. That's why my legacy team exists. That's why I love pointing to people who was in real estate. Getting in this arena only will get you more out of life. So with that being said, listen, join us in Cashflow Friday, and if you have any real estate questions, always know that. I always say this: share this with one people. Like how y'all help me help others is sharing this on your page, sharing this with friends, sharing this because we always say like we want to help others, but I think I froze. Yep. I think what people don't realize is like on this online space, the more that you share this on your page, the more that other people see this, like the online algorithm is going to help me and my message get to more people. Like I genuinely want to see people win. And sometimes we need to see others walk in their journey. And so hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully you'll get a chance to be a part of Cashflow Friday. But more importantly, like choose to run your race and choose to get uncomfortable because that's the only way you're actually going to get better is when you choose to run your race and define what those uncomfortable things are for you and then move past it because you'll realize it's just in your mind more than it is in reality. So listen, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like I say, share this with at least one person. And until next time, your legacy begin when what? Your excuses end.